Hello, everybody. Welcome to Women's Biz Global with Annie Gibbins and today, Jill McCarthy. Welcome to the program, Jill.
Welcome. Glad to be here.
It is lovely to have you share with me today because we're going to be two nanas chatting. I love that. You're known as the geeky nana, and I'm certainly known as the high vibe energy nana. So we're going to have a wonderful conversation. For those of you who don't know Jill, she's a lifelong learner. Oh my goodness. We all should be, right? We've all got to be learning all the time. She's had 50 years of studying personal development, 30 years of doing her own therapy work, 25 years of teaching. She's led 15 in-person women's retreats. She's published 50, I think, plus podcast episodes of her own in 24 countries. She's also done that while raising 4 sons, and she's been married a wee bit longer than me. I'm at 35 years, and she's been married for 43 years. So we are going to have a whole beautiful chat about life, learnings. Oh my goodness, why she's the geeky grandma, why she's even done her podcast. I'm just really looking forward to today because all of those numbers actually just add up to a really deep calling of why this woman is passionate about empowering women, helping them to go after their heart's desire. And oh my goodness, as a self-declared heart warrior, we are definitely on the same page there. So let's get our conversation started with you, Jill. Well, how did you get into leading women's retreats?
Well, it's a long story. It started way back in third grade when people were starting to ask each other over to their houses for different events and overnights. And I was so excited and wanted to do it so bad. But you know what I did instead? I went into a shell instead for 4 years. Now, that doesn't sound like somebody who was very excited, but that planted a seep deep into my heart, and many years later I shared that desire with a pastor, and she felt the depth of my wanting to do the overnight with the other ladies, and she did a sample retreat that I helped her out in, and 2 years later I began doing my own retreats. And I actually led 10 retreats while I was still teaching, and take a little break into retirement. And I've done 5 more since. Matter of fact, I did one just 2 weekends ago. And every year it kind of goes up a new level. And this year was no problem with that, going up a level. We had more speakers and it just was a lot of fun.
That is so fantastic. I love what you're doing, and what woman doesn't love a beautiful, nurturing retreat? Oh my goodness! What I would love to unpack a little bit though is that little girl, because we've all been that little girl at different stages, and also kids can be unkind to us. So you got that whole element, but you've also sound like you've self-sabotaged. So here you are,
Uh,
totally excited. Oh my goodness, how dreamy would that be? I want to be one of the cool kids, but then you pull back. And I think a lot of our listeners would be, I've done that before. I'd love you to actually share, if you're comfortable, about, well, what happened there? You've gone and said that happened for 4 years. So you're bursting to do something, but you're like, no, I've got to hide.
well, I had my kindergarten teacher had labeled me as shy, and through my own therapy work, I've learned that I really wasn't shy. I'm just one of those HSPs that process things very deeply, and it was a little seed, something my parents had said along the way, that if you go over to somebody else's house, you got to have them back. And there were some things about home that I wasn't ready to share yet. And I couldn't tell my folks, and I couldn't trust that I could tell my peers. So the safest place I knew was to go inside. I actually gave myself a horrendous kidney infection for over a year, but I knew I could trust me, and that's who I've had to learn how to trust.
I totally understand that experience, and that's right. If I want to go there, but I don't want them to come here, oh my goodness, that's a real dilemma. That is a huge dilemma for a child, and there's just so much pressure that we feel as young ones, but they also then carry with us for years, sometimes generations. After us, it's like decades later, you've still got this young child in you that still feels those fears, feels that stress. You've then taken that into gaining some really important teaching skills that you've imparted on others. What sort of skills did you have to learn through your own therapy work that you then went, oh my goodness, I'm at a stage now that I can help so many other women who are going to be going through those same challenges that I did?
Well, my key area has been the throat and the voice, and I have worked uh, easily 13 years on that part alone. I've done EMDR trauma work. Come to find out that I had a developmental attachment wound, that interpersonal skill in growing to meet each other, it didn't grow in me the way that it normally does in people. And it took tremendous hours of work to release tension in every little space up and down one side of my throat and down the other. And I worked in conjunction with a network chiropractor. I would go to the trauma therapist 1 hour, and then the next hour I would go to the chiropractor. We'd loosen up some old vision in my head, and then we'd physically release it. And I worked with a vocal coach. I've worked with physical therapists. I've done some mm, applied neurology, which has different activities that can rewire your brain. As a teacher, I always love to study brain, so anything I can find. I've done chakra work, spiritual work. I've done everything under the sun to work on relaxing and releasing my voice so that now I can speak to 91 countries. This is like an amazing full circle.
It is such a fantastic full circle. When your issue is your voice, and here you are now, a podcaster, you can speak globally. I mean, that is just pure joy. Something that has become, been a real, thorn in your side, if you like, and a real inhibitor, that you've done that work. And I really honor you for doing that, because it is hard, it's challenging. For some people, things are so easy, communicating, speaking, getting yourself in front of others. For others, it is such a challenge. And I think the fact that you have done so much learning experience, it means that those women, when they come along to your events and retreats, you just get them because you've gone through so many different experiences, and a lot of them get challenged along the way. That it's hard and it's very easy to give up. And I'm sure you've had phases like that, going, "Oh my goodness, am I ever going to get there?" And then suddenly those aha moments happen, and I think it's just fantastic. So let's move on to your podcast. Your podcast is called The Geeky Grandma with an Encouraging Nudge. Absolutely love the name of that. Let's just tell the listeners first of all, what's with that name? Encouraging nudge. That's better than a boot up the butt, isn't it?
It sure is. Um, I am geeky. I love geeky. If you're watching live, you're seeing my podcasting gear right in front of me just because I love it, and I've got a green screen wall right behind me, so you don't have to twist my arm very far. I love technology. As a former teacher, I was able to teach the teachers that were a little bit older than me the technology because I had a little time at home with my guys. And while I was doing that, I learned it. And I especially love doing digital graphic work. And uh, I put in the grandma. Yes, I am a grandma. But one day I was talking to a gal online. Let's say her name was Mary Jane Smith, and she's telling a woe that was going on in her life. And I just automatically replied, Mary Jane, would you like somebody to listen to you? Or is there any way I can help out? And she wrote back and she says, that's what my grandmother calls me. So rather than fight getting older and being a grandma, I thought, why not embrace it? And so that's what I do.
I love it. I love it. Embrace it all the way. I say I'm constantly just going, I'm a nana. I'm a nana. It's an amazing stage of life, and a pure joy. And it is a great opportunity just to be a bit more wiser, calmer, and just to be there for people. I think it's a stage of life that you just have that extra moment that you can really just see people. I think see them for where they're at, what their challenges are, and also then be able to help them along their journey a little bit more than when you've had your distractions of growing your career, raising families, bits and pieces that we all get bogged down in. So tell me about the podcast then. You've done more than 50 episodes. Who are your primary guests on the show? Are there any standouts that you thought, you know what, that was just the best episode, and why?
Well, tomorrow morning I'm going to publish the episode with Deb Drummond. I had a chance when she called me for the 262 speakers that she was looking for. We decided to exchange podcasts. I recorded her and she recorded me, and tomorrow's my turn to drop that episode. So that was exciting. I aimed at first for women that were nearing to retirement or recently retired. I thought maybe I could be a mentor to that crew, but I found out later on they really didn't want mentors. They were more ready to be mentors. So I decided to travel the world on the internet and find people that from all around the world going for their heart's desire. One lady sold her home and bought a sailboat and started sailing around the world, sight unseen. So I've got all kinds of people, and some of them have become my guests at my retreats or speakers at my retreats, either virtually or in person. So I've met wonderful ladies.
You meet such fantastic people podcasting. I just absolutely adore it myself. And how wonderful that you had the amazing Deb Drummond on your show and you're on hers. And we're both in that book with Deb Drummond, the 262 book. And it's just a fantastic network. So if you're not on board with that, also reach out to either of us and we will help you find your way to Deb. And it's great because that's where you meet amazing people, and that's how we're here today.
That's right.
I'd love to ask you what made you choose the phrase heart's desire.
Well, at my very first retreat, I was read a book around New Year's time about the art of the fresh start. Doesn't that sound like a New Year's book to read? And I went to bed one night. I'm a graphic designer at heart. I woke up the next morning with a trifold brochure of what the whole retreat was. If you've ever laid those out, they're pretty tricky to get things on the right pages. And in looking through this book, I came across the phrase, it's Psalm 37:4. Delight ourselves in the Lord, and he will give us the desires of our heart. And all we have to do is delight in him, and he will give us the desires of our heart. He's not against them. He put them there. And he wants us to go for them. He wants to give them to us. He's not fighting us for those things that we want to do so bad. He's all for us. He wants to. We delight more in him when we are doing our heart's desires.
So true. So true. So what's your heart's desire, Jill?
Well, I so love to do women's retreats and going to different places and meeting new women now. I want to talk to women and travel. So what I want to do is pretend I'm a pitcher, the kind of pitcher that pours. And I want to go to one retreat or women's events and get filled all the way up, and I get to slosh around it and enjoy it and meet all those new people and synthesize it, and then go to another event and pour it all out. And then I want to start all over again. That's my heart's desire.
I think that is just such a phrase that I want to keep. Picture that pours, be a picture that pours. How wonderful is that? Because that's right. Our cup must be full so that we can overflow, to
Right.
others. We can't, while we're lacking, we can't then give in the same capacity. So I absolutely love that. You're wanting that perfect balance of, yeah, fill me up. I'm a kid in a candy store. I'm that girl who is now at that party, and I am loving absolutely every moment of it, because let's face it, women are just so interesting and fascinating, and their journeys and powerful, and those connections are exciting. And then be able to have the attitude of, I can't wait to go to the next one, because I'm going to also refill, but at the same time I'm just going to be giving and giving and giving. And what a blessing that is. Wow, what a life journey that you've had, though, to actually get that revelation of being able to be at this stage of your life. That would have been hard for you to visualize when you were that young child, sort of self-isolating and going through those challenges, to think at this stage of your life, you'd be like, no, I'm the one who hosts the party, say, come along, everybody, and max out on what the blessings that can bring you, and also be able to share your learnings, your wisdom. That's just pure joy.
Absolutely.
Mm. So if anyone is interested in coming on your show now, how do they get in touch with you? How does it work, Jill? What should they do?
The best way is to email me or messenger, either way. My email address is mmccar, the numeral 1, at twcny.rr.com. And if you send me a message, I'll send you a questionnaire and we'll get things underway. And we have a pretty quick turnaround right now, so we'd love to see some more guests. And with hitting number 50, we're charging up. We're looking for 1,000 plays pretty soon, so can't
Oh,
wait.
that is fantastic. We're going to have to get you a new email, though. You've got to get the geekygrandma.com or something.
You're probably right. I haven't gotten that far yet.
I'll have to upgrade you somehow. But that's okay. That's another matter. You'll be able to find Jill, because I'll put her details in all of my show notes for you, beautiful viewers. And also, I'm assuming some women out there might want to come to your retreat. So I'm assuming they do that also just by contacting you via email,
Sure.
find out about those.
We'd love to take the retreats on the road. So if you have a place, I've got a crew that I can bring with me, and we can put it on a retreat at your place, or you can hire us for speakers. We'll work, we can train you. You tell me what you need and we'll be there.
How great is that? So those ladies out there, wherever you are, I'm assuming just in the States, but you never know
Yes,
what the budget
please.
is. Here I am in Australia going, yeah, I think this is just for the States. But hello, Jill's happy to do a road trip, because this can often be a challenge that you go, you know what, I've got a bunch of ladies, but I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't know how it all works. Well, Jill's tried and tested. She's been doing it now for years and years. I guarantee it's going to be a fun, amazing event. Very, while being candid, and we can joke about how much fun it is, it's a real art in managing these sorts of events and making them run smoothly, making sure that everyone is included, that everyone just feels blessed, because she wants them all to come home feeling just filled up, so that their picture can overflow as well. So fantastic. So those ladies out there, if that interests you, definitely get in touch with Jill, and she'll be able to fit you in her schedule, either on the podcast or having an event for you. Thank you so much for being on the show today, Jill. I've absolutely loved it. Nana to Nana. It's just so great. I love it. I'm enjoying this stage of my life so much, because it's just shown me how to enjoy the beautiful moments, not to stress so much about the things that just don't work, or if they've been a challenge, to actually just find out, well, how can I work around that? How can I move forward? Sometimes you've got to create your own way, get over yourself a little bit. There's a lot of learnings along the way, and you know what, ladies, we all go through them. Some of us go over those little hills very, very quickly, and others take, maybe a decade or two to get an aha moment going, that would have been handy to know earlier on. But that's okay. That's the journey of life. And we all do it, and we're all here to help your journey go a little bit smoother. So you can find me obviously at womensbizglobal.com, and I encourage you to come along, have a little free chat with me, get to know me and my global tribe. Also, reach out to Jill today and have a little discovery call, get to know her a little bit. We look forward to seeing you at our next episode. Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome. My name is Annie Gibbins, founder and CEO of Women's Biz Global. As a woman, a career executive and mum of 5, I know that becoming successful in a modern day society, it can be extremely difficult and challenging. The requirements of career and business success are often overwhelming, especially when you have competing priorities like family. But that does not mean that you can't be extraordinary. At Women's Biz Global, our goal is to educate, motivate, and elevate women so that they can have the freedom to live a life they love. It doesn't matter what your current status or position is. Your empowered future starts now. Whether you're a startup or a scale-up, or you're juggling business, life, career, family, everything, we will teach you how to dominate in your niche area without the stress and overwhelm that comes from wasting time and money and energy. We will equip you to achieve success, balance, and happiness on your terms. We invite you to join Women's Biz Tribe. Start by attending Women's Biz events and enjoy the benefit of interacting with like-minded women from around the globe who are choosing to unapologetically play a bigger game. Women's Biz Coaching offers a variety of programs that may suit your needs. We have boot camps and webinars, online structured programs and incubators. They're all designed to help grow your personal and professional brand, confidence, and support framework. Women's Biz Media will help you discover extraordinary women via our podcast, Memoirs of Successful Women, and reach 12 million potential readers via Women's Biz Magazine. Women's Biz Publishing will take all the pain away from getting your voice and message out into the world. Your brand value will literally skyrocket overnight. And if you would prefer to access our consulting services, I will personally ensure high value solutions are provided to meet your specific needs, to time, to budget, and all with a beaming smile. Finally, get to know our affiliate partners and learn how you might like to become one yourself. Women's Biz Global is the support network that will fast-track your journey to success. So what are you waiting for? Be unapologetically you. Women's Biz Global, helping women succeed in business and life.